Hi, I'm Javaune Simpson and welcome back to SpeakUp. Now for today's topic, we'll actually be talking about insecurities. And what is actually important for us to note is that a lot of us as individuals do have insecurities, and quite often these insecurities prevent us from doing things in which we are actually, feeling as though we're actually called to do. Like me, for example, I feel like I belong here. I belong, here just talking to you guys, just trying to, have discussions about, things that are actually happening in our life and try to better ourselves, through talking about it, whether it be in the church environment or whether it be just out there in our social environments, in general. I believe that this is perhaps, one of my callings, one of my purposes, and so I'm trying to, fit myself into it as best as possible and be as comfortable as possible while doing so. Now, in talking about insecurities, we must admit that it's really and truly not an easy road. It's not an easy road. Like, in getting over certain insecurities in which might have been in us from perhaps childhood days, it is not easy to actually get over them. I've had a lot of insecurities. Well, I wouldn't say a lot. I do. A lot of the same insecurities, perhaps. I remember in high school, I had this, insecurity of me, perhaps not. At first I wasn't as popular, when I started out, and so certain things I would have been going through. Because, coming from primary school days, I believe I was fairly popular in primary school. I was popular in primary school. You don't know where I did hot boy in a primary school. But then we reach a high school, it's a different environment. And so, due to it being a different environment, we had a different crowd. And so, many persons didn't know what it is that, you brought to the table as an individual. And perhaps, coming into contact with other persons that, they were commanding attention, around you, and so you never feel like you actually have what it takes to be the go-to guy in high school, and so that kind of brought about some insecurities. I can tell you this much: me never know my head long until me reach high school. I kid you not. Persons might be like, Javaune, what you talk about, and somebody might just pop out and do the laugh just a while ago, but I kid you not, like. We would have persons would have said things to me in primary school, and they just skip over it, because in primary school I was a big comedian. I was a big comedian. Enough time mother throw up show up at school and teacher would be like, "Yeah man, your boy a clown in the class." I remember I looked at me like, "Clown? That I'm saying I come to school for?" And then I look up and I like, "No mommy, no my teacher that was." Yeah, but nevertheless, in primary school, we never have much time for being insecure about nothing really. We just go through, go through the motions. As the wave come, we just go over it. Pretty girl come, we approach pretty girl with confidence and everything. Honestly, about probably three grade them time, we did kind of have a bit of insecurities. But in no time, I believe I overcame them. But then when you reach a high school now, that's when the insecurities actually kick in, because hormones and everything are kick through you, and you come across a lot of persons, as I would have said before, that they were commanding the attention of the crowd in many different ways in which you wouldn't have been commanding the attention of the crowd. You had persons that were a part of the track team. For those of you who don't know, I'm a part of the Red and Blue family. Diamond in the East, Camperdown, the Camperdown institution, and back them time the Camperdown, like, I go hard at it as it pertains to track and field, and that's one of the things in which I wanted to. That's one of the reasons why I actually wanted to go to Camperdown so much. And so when I got there, tracksman them have them girl, and tracksman them step on the scene, and everybody would be like, "Yo, look at him." I remember in high school you have tracksman while I drive BMW. Like, I was like, wait, what? And when me in a primary school, I think I remember. What was it? What was the van? I'm not for X5. I think it was X5. Yeah, because X6 never come out yet. I think I was in about second form. I remember this guy. He was actually from a different island. This guy was actually driving a X5, a gold X5. And you did I like, all right, I'm gonna reach nowhere in this yet. So, yeah, there are levels to this thing, and I'm not at that level. And so you just feel a bit insecure. You don't feel as confident anymore. even as it pertains to just going out there and just trying to be yourself as best as possible, you're not able to do that or to function well enough in doing so because you're perhaps intimidated by the persons in which are around you. And even so, right now in our general lives, we have some capabilities, we have some passions, we have some goals that we want to achieve, and we are afraid to perhaps go out and just attack them and do your best at them, and it's simply because in this social media era, a lot of us we see so many things that other persons are actually doing, but we never actually get the opportunity to sit down and really think to ourselves, I can do this, or you motivate yourself enough and say, I can do this for real. Like, you want to start a YouTube channel, you're like, no, I can't do it because you have a guy over there so have 100,000 subscribers, and if me start, I'm gonna just have one, and it'll just be me subscribing to my own channel. And you have another person out there who would be like, I want to be a singer, but if I'm going in front of the crowd, I go pop down in a sense, and that kind of sound like me in a sense. But anyways, you have another person out there who's like, I want to be an actor, I want to be an actress, but you have some really talented actors and actresses out there, and them are gonna shut me down as soon as I open my mouth, because I'm not gonna be that good, you understand me, or you're not going to be that confident. And so doubting yourself from even the first part of having that goal or having that dream, it's like, tell yourself, say, I'm gonna do it, and so it's like you fail before you even start the journey. There's a saying that goes something like that, but I can't really quote it right now because I might just quote foolishness, and you people probably already out there laugh, and I can't bother for you wanna get additional joke. You understand what I say? But anyways, in talking about insecurities, I'll talk about perhaps like 3 common things that actually drive us to be actually insecure. And perhaps what we'll talk about is how to actually get over them. Because we can't just talk about the things that actually drive our insecurities and not talk about how to get over them, because that's the whole purpose of the SpeakUp thing. We want to get better, as regards to things that are actually holding us back as individuals. We want to get past them. So first up, we actually have insecurity based on recent failure or rejection. So the mere fact that you would have tried something in your past, and so you feel like you failed at it, or perhaps somebody that come up to you and say, you never sound too good when you sing the other day, brother. Youth, not do it again, youth. You never sound too good, don't do it again. Or somebody might come to you and be like, the essay really right. You so much grammatical errors tonight. How can you say you're going to be a journalist and you can't even write an essay properly? Things like that. Persons say harsh things to us at times, and they don't even understand that you're actually going through some self-esteem issues. You're actually going through some insecurities, and so for them to say something like that, it actually tears you down even more, and so you have to grow what us Jamaicans call a thick skin. Like, just go hard at it and not necessarily care what persons say. Don't care about the negative things that persons will say about the attempt in which you would have made. Think about it in strides, or you make just have small increments, or just have small goals rather that you can achieve slowly. So even for me personally, I started out with this YouTube thing, and now I'm at like 130 subscribers. I am happy about that. Like, I look at some YouTubers at times, and I'm like, this person's like at 100,000. This person's at like 12 million, and I'm like, there's so many subscribers out there to get, and and you feel a bit intimidated. Not even a bit, you feel really intimidated. But nevertheless, what you have to think about is that you're talking to 100 and odd people. If 15 viewers come on, you have to think about it as 15 people just viewed what it is that I said. If it is that them even log on for 1 minute, then they would have seen 1 minute of what it is that you actually spoke about. And so you have to make every single second or every single minute count, and that's even a process within itself. You would have seen that my videos take quite some time to actually end, and you have some persons that go the full distance. You have some persons that start and watch it with like 2 minutes and then they're done, or some person might go 5-10 minutes and that's it. And you still have to be appreciative of that, because it is that you have taken like 5 to 10 minutes out of somebody else's lifetime, and that's valuable. That's invaluable. You can't even put a price to it. You understand what I say? So just treasure the thing in which you're actually doing, and feel as though, convince yourself enough to believe, say, yo, yeah man, even 100 subscribers is good. Even if you have 5, that's good, because you're talking to 5 different people, and that 5 different people, if you change your perspective, or you engage them well enough, that 5 different persons can actually engage 5 more different people, and perhaps that will turn around to be 100 in a couple of days, whatever it might be. Just try and embrace it as best as possible. So don't pay attention too much to the rejection, or the thing, or the fact that you would have failed at your first attempt. And who decides what is actually failure? It is actually you who decide what is failure. Don't get it twisted. Don't make people tell you, say, yo, you fail. You understand me? So you go up on the stage and you sing "Carry Your Candle." And you might have sing it like that, and many persons would be like, and you hear crickets in the background, and you hear one person on the back, and the person is like, "You better sing that song, girl," or "You better sing that song, boy," and you're there like, if it is that you focus on that one person who's actually pushing you, or just out there like just screaming with your name or whatever it is, then you might even get even better while being there on stage. I guarantee there are times when that actually happens. I kid you not, because you're actually focusing on the positive aspect of what is actually taking place, and not the negative part. For some of you would have known that I love singing, right? And when I'm singing, one of the things that persons will realize is that I don't even like to look at the crowd. Because if you look at the crowd, you probably just shut off right there. So I remember entering a competition about 2 years ago, I believe. I was actually I went to the top 10 for the competition, and thanks be to God, I went to the top 10, because that was a big step for me. I didn't see myself actually going out there and singing in front of so much people, and I went and we sang at the Emancipation Park, and it was a good amount of persons, probably like 100 or a bit more, and so I was there, and when I sang, while singing, persons were there just looking, right? Some persons were there like just looking, and some persons were into it, some persons were supporting you, and some persons were just there like, because I think what the general thing that they expected was that persons came and they were DJing, do some dance and all them something, and I was just there, singing. I was trying to make it a bit dramatic even. I sit down on the homeboy, sit down on the ground, people. I sit down on the ground, I start off the song, and shout out to the keyboardist, shout out to Andrew. Yeah. So somebody actually helped me, came and played the keyboard and everything, and that's me overcoming a fear, and I felt so good about it at the end of the day. But nevertheless, I still felt a bit as though I didn't accomplish what it is that I actually set out to accomplish, because I went there to win, of course, and I didn't win, but I didn't win the main prize. But what I believe that I did win was that confidence, that vote of confidence. I did feel better, a whole lot better. So you have to just consider every step in which you make as a positive step. You have to give yourself a thumbs up. Even if you post a picture on Facebook, that's another thing with me. Like, post a picture on Facebook or post a picture anyway, me one of the first persons I like it. You get me? I say you have to be confident. You have to have the confidence there, so you just go with it. I'm not even call it confidence, I'm call it confidence. So I will go with it just as it is. You understand me? So just be as bold and positive as possible. Alright? So so that was number 1 right there. Insecurity based on recent failure or rejection. So moving on, we have number 2. Lack of confidence because of social anxiety. The feeling that you get when you go into the crowd, and the crowd is like, you feel like the crowd expect a whole lot of things from you where you can't provide them. Like you step in the crowd and people are like, who the boy there? Who the girl there? You understand me? I'm saying, or you feel like that's what persons are saying, and people probably not even paying no mind, and probably pay attention to the jerk pork man over this, so jerk some pork, and they want to buy some jerk pork or whatever it is. Or somebody might just walking behind you and they might try to say, who the person that walking behind the guy did? Excuse me, you boy, or excuse me, you girl. You could say who the behind you. You know, everybody not to pay you no mind, but you feel as though the crowd is expecting so much of you, and so you feel so anxious within yourself. You know, you feel like, you know, a whole lot of anxiety is coming down on you. You feel like you're just not able to provide these people with whatever it is that they actually need. You know, and a lot of times, some of these people that actually face that level of insecurity, or their insecurities are driven by things like that, it's because they're cooped up at home quite often, and so they don't necessarily go out and try to face that fear that they have, or face that insecurity that they have. So even me, to be honest, at times I think that's what helped me, you know, or has been helping me a whole lot as it pertains to some of my insecurities, where I would actually go out more. I would actually take more pictures. I would actually do certain things in which I wouldn't have actually felt comfortable doing some time ago. And so because I've actually overstepped that boundary now, yeah, me feel better. You know, I, you know, started singing at church and thing, and so I feel more confident now, because persons would be like, yo, that sound like you sound good, youth. When the album come out, you know, people that did a big up my head like that. Like, I've been in that as a album. So wait, that you feel the dream to, you have the dream to like Martin Luther. Wait, are you saying that are you speaking this into being for me? What are you saying? You know, because all along in my head, I'm like, yeah man, I'll drop an album soon, you know. And for somebody else ask you, yo, who sing a song there? I remember one of the times I sang at church, and somebody was like, I went down and somebody was like, what I sang the name again? Who sing a song there? Something to that extent. And I was like, I wrote it. What you talking about? And this is not even me having boasting people. I can promise you, if you know me, you know me now boasting. I'm just saying, you know, that's just how something like that can boost your confidence up on a different level. You understand what I say? And so you have to just go out there, just attack it. You know, not in a negative way, but in a positive way. Go out there and attack it, and feel as though whatever it is that happens, it would have been something that's positive, and embrace everything as a constructive thing to you. Don't make nobody try to tear you down. I mean, people are going to try to tear you down, you know, regardless. And even yourself, your very thoughts will try and tear you down as an individual. So you have to just be as confident as possible and keep God in the midst of it, because if you have God in it, then God will always constantly remind you, say, yo, nah, I'm call you for greatness. Just embrace greatness. What you do? What are you doing? Why are you doubting yourself? Don't you know that doubting yourself is actually doubting me, because I'm me, I empower you. I'm me, I energize you, you know, boy. What are you doing? Yeah, God won't say, you boy, I wrote you boy like that. I don't think God is like that. But I'm just saying, you know, I'm just a bit aggressive currently. Alright, so yeah, moving on. So yeah, that's number 2. We have to move away from that, you know, lack of confidence as it regards to, you know, social anxiety. We have to just move away from that. So if it is that you're afraid of crowds, try and embrace crowds more. You know, try if you embrace some more crowds. If you're afraid of being seen on in pictures or on videos, go start a YouTube channel or put up a video somewhere. I remember some time ago I got up in the morning and I felt so driven. You understand me? And I sang a song and I posted it on Facebook. And when I sang it and posted it on Facebook, I disappeared off Facebook. I just came off Facebook like, yo, I can't even deal with the comments. I felt so, yo, you know, anxiety lick you. I was like, no, I'm not gonna deal with this. Yo, I need to delete it. Yo, the enemy was like, delete it, boy. You know, say you can't sing. Alright, delete it, boy. Who is you? You know, see bigger singer out there. What you do? You know, you're like perhaps persons that can feel like say, no, you're a boss or all these things, and you feel like just stepping back, and it's like the spirit to say, yo, no, make it stay. You know, and I felt as though because I couldn't manage it on an anxiety level, I just say, you know, alright, let me just come off of Facebook a little bit. I don't mean delete my Facebook, you know, I mean like just not go on the app for a while. You know, I don't even want to feel the phone vibrate, because, you know, I get a notification or whatever it is. And that's just how I feel at a time. Sometimes you just feel anxious in these ways, and so you have to just push yourself. push yourself continuously. You know when them say face your fears and you will be able to get over them eventually. Do that. And just do it with God, because at the end of the day it will be worth it if you do it with God. Now, coming up at number 3, we have insecurity driven by perfectionism. Oh my God, me just put it on the phone, even though this is the last one anyways. But perfection driven by perfection, you know what perfection driven by perfectionism. Insecurities driven by perfectionism. I kid you not, this is perhaps one of the leading things that actually cause a lot of persons to be insecure, because they're so hell-bent on doing it in a perfect manner that they miss the whole joy of actually doing it and just enjoy doing it and enjoying the process. Yo, so you start a YouTube channel. Let me give you another example again. We same YouTube channel. I talk to you, I try embrace this, and I try, motivate myself, you have to speak over yourself too, You understand me? So you start a YouTube channel, right? And up first you realize say 5% subscribe. And you're like, some persons start them YouTube and 100% subscribe on the first day, them type of thing. They understand me, because you would have watched like videos with other YouTubers or whatever it might be. Or you have persons like, I pump some money night and promote my video and whatever it is, and them get have 1,000 subscribers in no time. You understand me? But for you it is different, and so you have to embrace what it is that your journey is supposed to be, because your journey not gonna be the same as somebody else's journey, And so even if it might feel a bit similar, no, it's not the same. You understand me? You have to just remind yourself of that on a day-to-day basis. Like you start school, somebody else might get straight A's, but you probably get straight C's. Thank God same way, because at the end of the day, at least you don't fail none. And even as in regards to that, I mention that and say, what if you fail one when you start? So what? Go do it, reset it again and do it again, brother, or do it again, sister. You understand me? Just pray to God and hold up on a confidence and make sure so your confidence or your Godfidence grow. So I'm stop say confidence and I'm start say Godfidence. Okay, you want to put God in it as much as possible, right? And so I started embracing this thing about putting God first. As you would have seen my hashtag a lot of times, God first, a lot of times. So I just embrace them things and just start growing in faith a lot more often than I would have in the past. And to be honest, I believe that because of that, I would have been able to acquire a lot more things. I would have been able to accomplish a whole lot more things. And so it's like you build a brand, and this brand is not only necessarily just about you, it's about other persons out there that need to see something that it is that you're doing, that purpose that you have. Other persons out there are depending on it, and your purpose, them actually benefit from it, So while it might seem like a fair one and unnecessarily fair one, that don't go give out if you use and reach the people. You understand what I say? So don't make the enemy or make anybody else out there try and defeat you in trying to get there. You have a mountain that is set before you. The mountain must move when you ask God to move the mountain. You might have to just climb over the mountain. You understand what I say? So just do whatever it is that you have to do. Don't think about the perfect stage. Don't think about reaching to that level of perfection just as yet. Embrace even what others might consider to be failure. Embrace those moments. It's okay to not accomplish even a goal at times. Because in not accomplishing that goal, you get to understand why you never accomplished the goal. Because you realize, I probably spent too much time I do that something. Should I do more? I do that. You understand me? Say you start a business and perhaps you say, alright then, I spend too much money, I do that. I pay too much money to promote this, and that wasn't actually the thing that I was supposed to promote. I should have promoted this. You understand me? Them little thing there. You probably, let's say you start a clothing line, because you guys know that's my thing. And so you probably started a clothing line, and I give you an example. When I started my clothing line named W2G at first, right? It was way to go. And then even in the process of doing that, I would have come across some failures. I would have printed shirts, I would have designed shirts, printed shirts, invested money in it, and even while investing money in it, you realize, sales nah go like come want it to go or start. You know, you gave it a very much affordable price and persons nah buy it Rastan. You did like, yo, what am I gonna do? And you just feel depressed or you feel, you know, demotivated because you see a lot of persons out there just like for them thing is a shine and your thing nah shine, and you're like, yo, one if I really not my thing is one if I'm not supposed to do. But then you say to yourself, no, but I have the talent. You're like, what am I supposed to do with it then? You understand me? And you just think to yourself and say, no man, probably just give it a little break and come back. You understand all of these things, but at the same time you still want to see it flourish as best as possible. And sometimes you don't realize that some persons don't help you in that process, and then you can't even blame them either, because and them for sell your dream and you for sell your dream because of your dream. So you have to invest as much time and invest money if it is that you have to invest money, and invest prayer and invest faith. Because if you invest money and you invest time and you invest prayer and you invest faith, then you best believe it's going to be a very rocky road. You understand me? No matter how rocky it might seem when you have the faith and when you have the prayer, you can just imagine how rocky it would be if you never have the prayer and never do the praying and have faith. All of these things you have to take into consideration. So don't necessarily just look on the perfect side of it. Embrace the mistakes. As I would have said that even being an entrepreneur is all about taking risk. But you know, at times you have to take calculated risks. Don't just go take risks just so. Don't just go invest money in something just so and not have any knowledge about it, you know, prior to actually investing money in it. So do your research and do all of these things that are necessary. So you want to be a YouTuber, go out there, do your research, ask questions and seek questions, you know. Persons around you might not be able to give you the answers to such questions, but you can go ahead and check out Google. You know, I had to Google a lot of things before I actually started the YouTube channel. You know, went on YouTube itself and I typed in certain questions because I know that other YouTubers out there are willing to help other persons, and so I typed in some things. You know, how to do this, how to do that. You know, how to get over this, so for whatever it might be, mistakes that other YouTubers would have made in the past. You know, how to avoid such mistakes, and so all of these things. And so you learn that even in doing so much research, you still have times when you fail, and that's just it. And what I'm saying to you is that don't look upon it as just failure. Look upon it as actually the opportunity to grow. This has been Speak Up with Javaune Simpson. Much love. Hope you actually enjoyed it. If you love it, go ahead and share it. Go ahead and subscribe. If it is that you want to share it with somebody else outside of the people that you normally share it to, I hope you don't normally share it to somebody at least, right? And if you never normally share it, then it's fine. That's fine, you know. Share it now if you feel led to share it, and go ahead and comment if you have a comment to share about this video. Like it if you like it. If you never like it, just dislike it, you know, because even that is a growing process as well. Much love. God bless.